Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another review. This is a film I wanted to review again. I had done a review long ago, but because I had gotten this DVD from Ben, that's this one. First off, to thank him for this. Uh, Very hard to find DVD here in the US, very expensive, but I have a region-free DVD player. So thankfully he sent me one from overseas, and that is Link. Directed by Richard Franklin, which unfortunately he's passed on, but I like this guy as an actor. I love the film he did called Road Games with Stacy Keach and Jamie Lee Curtis. Very nice Hitchcockian thriller. Takes place in Australia. Love Road Games. He also did Cycle 2, which I thought was good. I think he did Effects 2, which I actually like Effects 2. And overall, I like this film. I do feel a problem is a little bit of the pacing, a little bit of some slow spots. Of course, the fact this is supposed to be a chimpanzee, but it's obviously a fucking orangutan like Clyde from Every Which Way But Loose, but it is what it is. But Richard Franklin still, I thought, did a pretty decent job directing. And you have Elisabeth Shue, you also have Terence Stamp. Music by Jerry Goldsmith, which I would say this is one of his weirdest musical scores. Some of it is kind of pretty offbeat, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. But some of them, for example, if you watch the trailer to Link, the music in the trailer is music from this movie, and I like that piece of music in the trailer in Link. In the movie, it's the moment, kind of like you see bits in the trailer where she's running and she's at the door. Help open this door now, and nice point of view. The music there, I thought. I really like, that's my favorite part of the Jerry Goldsmith score. The other part's just weird. Some parts of the score make it sound like a family film. Like this is not a horror film, it's like a family film. I don't know how to describe it. Like this is something you see in those movies that had monkeys in them, like Monkey Trouble or Ed, or wasn't there one called Bad to the Bone or Bad to the... I don't know. There's those movies in the 90s that had to deal with monkeys or gorillas or fake ass people in gorilla suits. But it's Jerry Goldsmith. It's not one of my favorite Jerry Goldsmith scores, but there's parts of it that I do like. And I thought one thing I liked about this film, before I get into that actually, since there's some features, but it's really just the trailer, which I like the trailer. Actually, it's going to sound weird. I actually remember this trailer from a VHS, a Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. It's weird how that certain things just a lot of times from back in the day I forget. Like if you ask me how's the first time I saw this in this movie, I couldn't remember. There's only certain ones like Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead. Because I remember when I thought Ken Foray was going to die and kill himself, I was pissed. And then when he got excited, I was like on my bed jumping with glee. I also remember like seeing the trailer to this in the VHS of Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. I don't know, just certain things just get stuck in your crawl. And I do really enjoy the trailer. When man was given mastery over the beast, someone forgot to tell Link. Really, in the plot, you just sum it up here. Inspired by research on violence amongst chimpanzees, right? This chilling fantasy horror, which I don't really call it fantasy horror, from cult director Richard Franklin stars Elisabeth Shue in an early film role, alongside fellow Oscar nominee and 60s screen icon Terence Stamp, as a single-minded professor who sets in motion a terrifying chain of events. And what's nice about this DVD overseas, it's pretty good transfer. And is this wide? I think this is widescreen. Well, it says 166, but it looked widescreen to me. And I think this is one of those movies that I think Richard Franklin wasn't a big fan of. Like, he thought he could have done the film better. I think that and Effects too. I remember reading somewhere that those are two films that he kind of disappointed in. It's too bad, didn't get an interview to further explain what it is that he was disappointed with. I mean, Elisabeth Shue, it takes place in England, and Elisabeth Shue is a zoology student. Takes a summer job at the lonely cliff-top home of a professor, Terence, who is exploring the link between man and ape. Soon after her arrival, he vanishes, leaving her to care for his 3 chimps. Voodoo, a savage female, the affectionate childlike Imp, and Link, a circus ape trained as the perfect servant and companion. And then pretty much Elisabeth Shue becomes prisoner inside the house. It's in the middle of nowhere, so she can't go anywhere. The vehicle is gone. If she tries to run away, there's dogs out there. And actually Link saves her and kills one of the dogs. And kind of a pretty decent scene where he just takes the dog and snaps it. And I think there is some pretty damn good directing. I think Richard Franklin, he was a student of Alfred Hitchcock. I mean, I think at his school, people are like, oh, whatever, Hitchcock. But he wanted Hitchcock to come and talk to the class, and he was able to do so. And I believe he got to be on set on one of Alfred Hitchcock's his films. So you could tell from Richard Franklin, you see Road Games, and of course Psycho 2. And even this, he definitely studied Hitchcock. So he did some pretty good directing. Get some nice point of view shots. Like you get at the beginning of the film, a point of view shot of a chimp. And I like this little effect. It's like for example, a flashlight hits the point of view and it flashes, and you get this sort of flash effect. And the sort of smooth point of view of the chimpanzee. And I thought the point of view scenes were pretty well done. I don't know how to explain. This is why I wish I could show footage so I wouldn't have to fucking explain shit that would be easier just to watch. But it's like this little girl screaming, and you pan up and there's these dead birds as well as a dead cat. And I thought, again, some nice shot. It pans up and pans up to the buildingscape, to the daylight. It's nighttime and it pans up from the dead bird's dead cat to this building that's across the way, and it stays there, and it goes from night to day, and the shot doesn't cut. And that's what I mean. Like, some of the directing I think is pretty good in this film. And Terence, I think he does a good job. He's teaching this class. And there's one thing that I think they try to make you surprised, but it's not really a surprise, is that they have the 3 chimps. The one Voodoo, she's not in it that much, and they find her dead. The one Imp, who's supposed to be the innocent one. But you tell he's not an innocent one because, first off, Terence Stamp says here that he's been getting out at night and that he likes to eat cats during this teaching class. And I'm like, what did we just see? A chimp out at night and a dead cat. And the reason I think they wanted the audience to be surprised was that at the end, oh, here's Imp, it's going to be okay. He can't do anything. And it pans over from the car and you see like dead sheep in the field. So, oh, Imp's a killer too of animals. I'm like, we already knew that from the beginning, so it's not. I think that's one thing, like, if they wanted to make you surprised, they didn't do a really good job of it. But again, Elisabeth Shue does a job with Terence Stamp. I thought Elisabeth Shue does a good job. I like her as an actress. Sometimes I do get her mixed up with Leah Thompson from Howard the Duck. I don't know why. I know they were both in Back to the Future 2, and technically 3, but I don't know why. They don't really look that similar. I don't know, just for some reason. But I really enjoyed Adventures in Babysitting, which I did a review of. Actually got that as a gift from a nice girl named Hope. I thought Elisabeth Shue does a good job with Terence Stamp. And I think the reason I like the film is not only because I like the directing of the film, I like the point of view shots, and certain things he does with the camera. For example, Elisabeth Shue has a shotgun and shoots through the door, and you see the hole of the door, and the camera like pushes in right through the hole of the door, as she has a nice shot where she has a shotgun like right here, and you see the hole, and the camera like. Hell, if you watch the trailer, you can kind of see the movement I'm talking about. But I think it's some good directing, kind of like stuff you would see in, of course, Brian De Palma do this kind of stuff as well. Like there's a chase scene with her and her boyfriend. They go from room A to room B, but the camera's like above the rooms, and so he's able to slide from one room, and you see the terrorists open the door and go, and the camera keeps going above them to go from room A to room B without cutting, and just see them open the door and go through. That's what I mean. Like certain directing choices, I thought was well done. And I like Link. I like the Link ape that they got. Grand. They say it's a chimpanzee, and it's obviously an orangutan. Part of me wonders, is it Clyde from Every Which Way But Loose? Is it Clyde? You know, Right Turn Clyde? Is it Clyde? Or did they get another orangutan? I mean, I don't know. You never know. It could be Clyde. But, and then they try to dye his hair so that, no, he's not a orangutan. I'm like, yes, he is. It's really obvious. So that's weird. But at the same time, I will say that Link, you know, did a good job. Gives him fire and about how he was in the circus and he was the master of fire and lights a cigar, and he's just the movements that the ape does, you know, like this with his hands to make Elisabeth Shue grab his hand. Even like weird moments, like Elisabeth Shue's taking a shower and you see tits, Elisabeth Shue's tits, and there's Link just looking at and just watching. I thought, you know, for an ape, he did a. First off, I don't blame him for looking. And B, good acting from the ape. I thought it was some pretty good acting. And pretty much, you know, I know I'm jumping all around, but Terence there pretty much tells her, you know, don't let things escalate. Always forgive them. And pretty much you get the idea that Terence Stamp is calling someone to put Link down, to get rid of the chimps, and thus you don't see Terence Stamp die, but you get the idea that they turned on him. Because he disappears, and then you find out later on what happened to him. And I will say, I mean, a problem I have with the film is the pacing seems a little bit slow at times. I forget how long the film is, but this is 99 minutes, but I mean, it is trying to be a slow build, and it's about apes, so it's not. But I think maybe that's because Link, I like the acting from the ape, but I'm never scared of Link. Link is not scary. Shakma, granted, is more of a, you just say it's less Hitchcockian and more of a slasher film. But Shakma, to me, that ape is fucking scary. Like, Shakma you don't want to fuck with, because Shakma looks violent. Like, you can laugh at certain stuff, but if you saw an ape like Shakma coming after your ass, you'd run. You'd be like, oh shit. I mean, it's just hyperactive and snarling, and like, this is an ape that will tear your fucking eyeballs out and skull fuck you. Literally with, you know, and he won't give a shit. Whether you want permission or not, it doesn't matter with Shakma. He'll do it. So I think that's why, like, Shakma, I probably got into a little bit more because the ape is a bit scarier, but I would still say I like this film. But Link, good acting on the ape, but he was never scary. He was never threatening. Even once in a while when he tries to growl, it's not really threatening. Now granted, in real life, I'm sure an ape, I guarantee an ape is powerful, could rip your arms off and could do anything you want. I get that. But I'm not scared of a chimpanzee. I'm not scared of a orangutan. If I see them, first off, I'd never be around them. And second off, I just think of left turn, you know, or right turn, Clyde. That's what I think of. Shakma, that's a scary looking motherfucker. Like, he's gonna claw at your face and tear your eyes out with its teeth. And this little, granted, it could do things like there's a sequence with the van. She's trying to drive out in the van. gets him to push the van, and then he keeps pushing. He's like, Link, stop! And the van, she gets out, and the van goes off, and into this off the cliff. And then I think later on, her boyfriend and some friends get there, and their friends are pretty much there for a little bit of body count. And it's not a gory film. I mean, even these death scenes, you have a guy lifts through the little mail slot, takes the arm, and like the head hits the side of the door. And the other guy is outside, and he gets pulled down, and you see it's a dummy. I mean, the dummy falls down, and that's where you find out that Terence Stamp is at the bottom there, his body. But again, I think there's some pretty good sequences. Again, with she's being chased by this dog, and Link obviously is fond of Elisabeth Shue. And, you know, grabs the dog and fucking cracks the dog and kills the dog. I'm like, that's a pretty good scene. Link fucks up the phone line, hangs off it, and lets it, you know, torn off. And like I said, there's some nice directing choices. Like, for example, I'm trying to think what it is. Like, she's playing this tape. And it's Terence Stamp's voice on the tape. And like the way it's done, like this is something like Hitchcock or someone else might have done, where she's playing the tape, and then the soft sort of focus images of what happened before play beside her head, and then it sort of pans a little bit back to Elisabeth Shue. Or there's these glasses, and it pushes into the glasses. I think Terence Stamp's glasses. And then when it pushes in, it becomes binoculars. And she's looking through binoculars, because in the basement of this house, it actually leads to the outside. But the thing is, she's in the middle of nowhere, and the phone's fucked up, and there's no car, so she can't go anywhere. And then when she tries the dog. And yeah, I really like the scene that I remember from the trailer and then in the movie. You know, she has a double barrel shotgun, shoots, and the camera goes into the door, the bullet hole of the door. I think it was a nice shot. And you realize she hurt Link in this blood trail. And then she tries to escape, and she gets out. And again, that POV and the way it's kind of slow motion, but I guess you'd call it kind of slow motion. And just the way it's done, I really like the effect. Like, open the door now, and she gets in at the nick of time. I thought some nice directing, nice shots. And I thought Link, again, good acting on the ape, and I liked Elisabeth Shue, and the score. Those little moments of the actual suspenseful moments of the score for Jerry Goldsmith, I like. It's just some of the goofier, seems like family movie type of score, I'm just not 100% sure on. And then, I don't know, like, the boyfriend, I guess, got knocked out. And I don't know why he's alive. And he just gets left, like, under the floor. I'm like, why? I have no idea. They get away. Why he was left alive. Why he's left in that spot. And then when they get to the basement, this line that cracks me up, I'm trying to remember exactly. Shue says, we gotta outthink him. And the guy goes, how? I'm like, how? 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 It's a fucking ape! Like, literally, she asks, she says, we gotta outthink him. And he goes, how? I don't know. You're a human, that's an ape. You can't outthink him? Well, for saying that fucking stupid-ass question, maybe you are dumber than the ape. How? We gotta outthink him. How? How? That just killed me, how? But, you know, she uses her brain, tricks Link into starting a fire. Which is weird, because there's this part where Link, he's here, right? And there's a door right here that's absolutely open. He just walk up through the door and be on the outside. There's nothing there. I know, I saw the film. Link's here. He just walked through this door. But for some reason, he walks up the stairs to the top. I'm like, what? So you do this impersonation of, oh, I'm top of the world, ma! He's on top, like he's the master of fire. Maybe that's why. Guess that's the logic. And he falls through. Not the best effect. I just think the death of Link wasn't that satisfying. Because first off, it doesn't make sense. He's been smart this whole way through, doing this stuff. He's been this smart. I mean, killing Darren Stamp and dumping his body down the well, and getting rid of the car. Because later on she finds the Terence Stamp's car off the cliff. Like, he's smart enough to do all that. But when he's here, and say the door is literally like over here, wide open, no fire, he doesn't just walk out. He just decides to go up the stairs and missed all the fire. And I'm like, that's the way he's going to die? But then her and the boyfriend leave. There's the imp. Oh, he's a baby. He won't hurt anyone. Yet there's a lot of dead sheep, which is not much of a shocker, because you can already figure out that he was the chimp at the beginning when there's a dead cat, and then the next scene or two, it's Terence Stamp talking about, oh, imp, yeah, he gets out at night, and he likes to eat cats. And I'm like, ding, 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 put on neon, folks. You know, if that was supposed to be a surprise, you fucking failed. That's one part of the script you could have worked on. Everett De Roche. Based on a story by Lee Zlotoff and Tom Ackermann. Everett De Roche. I think the screenplay could have used a couple bits of working. The directing is fine. I think there's some good shots. Her and the boyfriend going up the stairs and following her up the stairs one after another. I think there's some good looking shots. Some nice directing. Jerry Goldsmith, some of the stories hit or miss, but you know, I like Jerry Goldsmith. I like the stuff that works, I think works. You know, the location is fine. That it takes place in England, and you know, she's in the middle of nowhere, so it makes sense like why she couldn't just get help. So I thought they did establish that she was isolated. Elisabeth, Shue, Terence Stamp were good. Link, the character, was good. It's just that the problem is and I like the film overall for that, but Link is not scary. It's not really that suspenseful because I don't find any fear or suspense from Link. Shakma, you could tell at least that ape is scary. Now, granted, is the film itself scary? It's more of just a slasher film, but I still like Shakma. And that's because if I saw the ape, I'd be like, oh shit, maybe wet your pants because he could tear your face, tear your asshole out. Literally. Claw your asshole all the way out. Link, maybe he, you know, have a smoke with you, but that's as far as it goes. I mean, you're not steered. I mean, look at that face. Why would you be steered at that face? Right turn, Clyde. I mean, that's... And the pacing felt a little bit slow at times. It just felt a little bit sluggish. I think that's I don't even know if that's a real word, sluggish, but it felt sluggish, not slog. Sluggish. Sluggish is what I meant. Sluggish. Making up words. Sluggish. That's why it felt a bit sluggish at times. Other than that, Link's death is not that satisfying. I think the way he died was pretty fucking stupid. The boyfriend character, not much of an actor. He's very much there just to... I guess so he could bring friends and get some body count. Okay, cool. To show that Link is a threat. I get the idea, but I still wasn't scary or suspenseful, but I think some good directing. The two leads are decent. The ape, who was Link, is well trained. Off and on score. Good POV shots, some nice scenes that were directed well. And that can't be it. If you're directing, at least do that. And for me, that helps. For me, that helps. But overall, I liked Link. Well, I liked the film. And, I mean, Shakma has his problems as well, so it's always hard for me to go, which one do I like more? I mean, Shockman has a little bit of a downbeat, depressing ending. Although I like some of the way it's done. Actually, I thought it was actually pretty. The way it was done was actually pretty decent. So that's why I don't hate the film. I thought it was actually pretty decent done. But I don't know. It depends. I don't know. But I'm rambling on. But I like Lynch. I think. I'm surprised this film didn't get much of a. Doesn't have much of a release out here. I know there's some people who like the film. I mean, Richard Franklin. Guy did Psycho 2 and Road Games. I mean, even Road Games has interviews and a commentary. But anyway, that's Link. But of course, Road Games, thankfully I have that DVD, but that DVD is hard to find for people too. You had to pay like a fucking bundle to do Road Games on DVD. But I was lucky enough to pick it up when I did. But thanks to Ben, I have this. I'm glad I have this. I do like the film. And again, I always remember that trailer. From back in the day, I've seen Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield on VHS. And this is what the inside. Nice way they did the inside as well. I like that. Another promotional poster for Link. But I like this one better. I do like this one a lot better. I probably like the one better. It's the same as this, but there's a picture of Elisabeth Shue like out in the corner. Kind of wish they kept that, but oh well. Anyway, that's my long, drawn-out review of Link. I do like the film, though. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.